All right, pre-workout time. I'm gonna go do push B. If you don't know exactly what I'm doing, or you don't follow along, or you really just don't care because nobody asked for this. But if you do follow along, I typically roll through 6 workouts consisting of 3 A workouts and 3 B workouts. I'm going to go in and do push B right now. Tomorrow I will take off, and then Friday I will move on to pull B. Saturday and Sunday I have not been training, and it's been like that for going on, it's going to be about 3 or 4 weeks. And then Monday will be lower B, and then I will repeat the cycle. But I am only training 4 days out of the week and taking 3 days off. The first day being Thursday, and well, the first day really being Sunday, the second day being Thursday, and the last day being Saturday. And I've been doing this for, well, again, it'll be about 3 or 4 weeks. And so I'm saying this because if you are that person that has to be in the gym 7 days out of the week, either you are using the gym as your escape from reality, mental difficulties, we'll say. It's good for your mental health, for you, the person that I would be talking to about what I had just previously said. Or you have the nutrition to support that. You may be on the other end of the spectrum, and you may be using performance enhancements. I do not know. But usually training 7 days a week, you're likely not training as intense as you think every single session. There's just no way. And then the other thing too is, so no matter how many supplements you take, you're still not going to recover to your max potential. Like, you are not letting your body rest. You know, the muscle growth and even fat loss, but the muscle growth for sure, that's going to take place when you are sleeping, when you are fueling your body. And so if you're fueling your body enough to maintain, like you are having maintenance calories, if you're doing that and you're trying to grow muscle and you're not in a surplus, then you really are, what you're doing is a detrimental thing to yourself at the end of the day. You're training 7 days a week, you have no rest, you're on the go, it could be work, kids, job, you're being pulled in all different directions, maybe you're going through some changes with your body, all these things, right? So I'm gonna go right now and I'm gonna start my B workouts. I've already had caffeine today, I've had coffee, I had to just work. So there's no need for me to have a caffeinated pre-workout. And to be honest with you, I haven't been doing that for about 2 months. And I gotta tell you, I feel so much better. I don't need to have, I guess I don't want caffeine right before I go to the gym. I don't want that anymore. Unless I truly, truly need it. If I have not had coffee, if I have not had a Just Work energy drink, hours before, like prior to like me making this video, I had a Just Work energy drink around 10:30. My coffee was at 6:30. So again, about 4 hours in between on the caffeine there. So there's no need for me to have more caffeine right now. Like, it just makes no sense. So I'm gonna go 2 scoops of hydraulic V2, which is the best pump product on the market, bar none, from Max and Sledge Supplements. And I'm gonna have 2 scoops of this here. It's very hard to get out because of the ingredients being active ingredients. Tends to clump up, but a really, really great product and a great flavor. And that's it for pre-workout. Did 2 scoops and 12 ounces of water. And we're gonna go intra, which is my intra concoction that probably many others do, but if you're watching me, you know that I do it. So we're gonna go 16 ounces of water. And we're gonna go, I have 1 scoop of Demo Day, big cherries in this funnel. That's gonna give me 25 grams of carbs intra-workout. I'm gonna go 5 grams, which is 1 scoop of creatine monohydrate. Ours is very smooth, by the way. It's not all gritty like most creatine monohydrate powders. It's very smooth. And then I'm gonna go 1 scoop of the EAA hydration grind, also from Axe and Sledge, obviously. Deadlifts and gummy bears flavor mixed with big cherries is pretty good. We do have a Deadlifts and gummy bears flavor in Demo Day if you want to mix all that together as well, but this is just what I'm doing right now. I like to keep it interesting and fun and refreshing, because I can eat the same food daily. That is one thing that a lot of people cannot do for the life of me. They want to know, how can I build this? How can I build this? How can I get rid of this? Like, what movements can I do? So the movements are going to be, again, what breaks down the muscle. You have to rebuild in the kitchen and while you sleep. If you want abs, because much like me, I am not grown with abs. I was not born with abs. I did not grow with abs as a kid. I have to work hard for my abs if I want them. So what I have to do is essentially get to maintenance calories, but really almost have to get into a deficit. Typically it's going to come with lower carb, but also lower fat, which a lot of people don't realize. You don't have to necessarily say, well, I'm going to be all lower carbs, super low carb. Carbs are fuel, so you want to have enough carbohydrates in your diet to fuel the workouts based on the goal. The fats is what carries the most calories per gram. So essentially, if you're trying to eat less calories, at least for me, now other people are going to be different, you may want to operate on lower fats. Enough fats to make sure that you're still functioning properly, your brain. Maybe making sure that you have enough fats to also kind of help with, good digestion, like your stomach. Gut health is a popular thing these days. Okay. But that's really what it's all about, is either eating a meal plan that is tracked for you, or like what I do for my clients is give them a suggested food list, but also macros with calories that I want them to hit, because I want them to learn how to track their macros so they can learn how to swap stuff in and out. Because most people are going to get bored after so long, and I get it. Women are like this. It's just, I don't know. Very, very few can eat the same thing over and over again because they have figured out what is great for their belly, what works well with keeping their hormones intact, what makes them feel good. But let's face it. Men do this too sometimes, but women more so. they're going to reach for the sweets in the cupboard, the sweets in the refrigerator, the pantry, whatever, because they've had a long day at work. They've had a stressful day at work. They have this like relationship with food, and it almost rules them. The food has become like their god. And I struggle with some things too that possibly could be before the Lord, which I'm working on. I don't know if it's quite the bodybuilding industry or if it's the aesthetics, meaning how I look. But if those things go before the Lord, I hate to break it to you, but whether you like it or not, that is your idol. For a lot of people, money is their idol. Money itself is not bad, but the love of money, like where it becomes your idol, that is the root of all evil. So you have to figure out like what's important to you. If you are trying to strengthen your walk like I am, there's going to be some rough patches. However, I look at things, I try to stay in the Word every day, even if it's for 5 minutes, and really try to renew my mind to the point where my workouts have been different at times. I've even said this. I'm like, I feel like I want to push and push and push in the gym, and it's like I almost get kind of stopped in a way because yes, to grow, you have to push through barriers. You have to get like more reps. You have to increase the load. You have to shock your body, not necessarily with changing the workouts, but shock your body to me is like adding reps the next workout or adding load to the next workout. That's how you're going to push yourself. But if your body says no and you are still pushing yourself, it's almost to me like how I think of it is like the enemy, which is the devil, the enemy in our head, telling you more, you can get more. And this is where like I've legit had clients, typically male clients, like call themselves a derogatory name just because they are lifting a certain amount of weight in the gym. And it's like, dude, respectfully, you have other things going on in your life outside of the gym to be saying this about yourself. I know this is an old school mentality, but what you say to yourself, how you talk to yourself is very important. When you look in the mirror and you are calling yourself, a derogatory name because maybe it gets you going, it gets you motivated, but you call yourself a derogatory name because you only curled 25-pound dumbbells. Like I've gotten a great pump. I've created stimulus, muscle stimulus, by doing 15-pound dumbbell curls. And I've also done 30s. I did 30s yesterday. I mean, I've done 35s. I've done 40s. Like it's just wild how people think. But I'm going to go do push B. Maybe I'll load up some more of these. This is my iPhone camera that I'm using. I don't have a fancy wireless mic on my shirt or on my hat. Maybe I'll get something like that down the road. And I don't know. We'll see what happens with this. Not a big YouTuber, not a big influencer guy. But maybe I'll be consistent with this and do some things on YouTube here and there. I don't know, we'll see. But you guys have fun. Talk to you soon.